Commissioner Kenneth Hodder is the national commander of the Salvation Army, and he joins us this morning here on Jersey Magazine. Commissioner, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Jim. It's great to be with you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. And I want to ask you, before we get started about the Salvation Army, I want to ask you a more personal question. You have a Harvard background, including a law degree from Harvard. What led you from the law to the Salvation Army?
Well, I have to say it was the call of God. I was practicing law in Los Angeles, thoroughly enjoying it, but the Lord called me to this, and I've now been serving as a Salvation Army officer for 35 years. If they'd let me start all over again and do it again, I'd do it in a minute.
How does your law background help you?
It helps me enormously with the work that the Salvation Army does, both domestically and around the world. I've had a chance to help establish the Salvation Army's presence in Kuwait and Nepal and Namibia and in all sorts of countries. And here locally and in this country, I've had a chance to help people who might not otherwise have had legal assistance. So it's been a great privilege.
You know, this is obviously the season of giving. We hear and talk about it all the time. The importance of giving back to our own communities cannot be understated. And here in New Jersey, Commissioner Hodder, we talk all the time about food insecurity and homelessness, even though we're in a pretty relatively affluent area of the country.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's important for everyone to recognize that though they themselves may be doing well, inflation has had a massive impact, particularly on those that the Salvation Army serves. If we have 44 million Americans who are food insecure, as we do, if we have homelessness in double digits, as we do, if we have 92 million Americans struggling week to week to meet their essential expenses, as we do, it's something we must constantly be aware of, and particularly at the holiday season.
What are some of the ways that WDHA listeners can help on a local level?
There are lots of things that they can do to help the Salvation Army. They can volunteer at a Salvation Army kettle. Volunteers raise a great deal of money every hour, about $80 on average, and that will provide dozens of meals to hungry people. They can go and help us distribute angel tree gifts. We'll distribute about 1 million toys to children this year. Or they can go online to salvationarmyusa.org and they can make a donation, either a one-time or a sustaining gift. Lots of ways to get involved.
What's some of the most satisfying work that you've been able to do as a member of the Salvation Army?
Without question, it has been the work associated with our substance abuse programs. To see the lives of men and women restored, their families healed, their careers reestablished, to see them back in their homes, and to know that they realize they're now they're loved and cared for, that God cares about them. That is the payoff, and I love it.
Commissioner Kenneth Hodder is our guest this morning here on Jersey Magazine. He is the national commander of Salvation Army. And of course, this time of year, Commissioner Hodder, we see Salvation Army people outside on street corners. It's dramatized in movies and television shows. But what's some of the other work that's done year round that we don't necessarily see?
Well, the Salvation Army has about 7,000 locations across the country. We serve every zip code. And that work varies from community to community based upon need. So, in addition to what you know at Christmas time in terms of food and toys, the Salvation Army is going to have youth programs. It's going to have programs and facilities to help low income seniors. We have veterans programs. We have youth camps. We have daycare centers. Anything that a community needs, the Salvation Army is organized to meet it and to provide it.
In this season of giving, it's so important, and the work you do is incredible with the Salvation Army. For WDHA listeners who want to learn more, the website again is salvationarmyusa.org. Commissioner Kenneth Hodder, the national commander of the Salvation Army, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you for the work that you do, and Merry Christmas.
Thanks for everything, Jim. God bless you, and go Giants.